was a pretty stellar filler right here, and it came from a character who really didn't get too much development, and that was Yugao. And of course, if you remember from last week's episode, she was reintroduced, and we hadn't seen her really since the first part of the series. I remember they put her in some of the GameCube, or maybe it was the Wii fighting games, but still, it's good to see that she has some development, and she actually has a pretty interesting backstory that they elaborate on quite a bit, and that's what I really liked about this episode. They actually go back to that point in time during the Chunin exams, when Orochimaru and Kabuto were trying to steal Sasuke, and we get to see what was actually going on with Yugao and Ayate at the time. We get to see that she went on some mission and Kabuto killed a few ninja, and that's when Hayate was getting ready to go off on this other mission to try and track him down. Of course, this was going to ultimately lead to his death. And we get to see the events that led up to this. We get to see him and Yugao made this promise on a moon, which does have some repercussions later in the episode. But really, the whole point of this episode is Yugao finally getting out of her shit and getting out of her weird funk that she's in, and finally getting ready to fight again, because apparently she's the only one who can take down Ayate, if only for story reasons, but also because she's like the perfect counter against his weird predator abilities. But ultimately, the episode itself was really entertaining. The animation throughout was actually okay most of the time. It really picked up a little bit more towards the latter half of the episode, and even Sakura got to do some pretty cool things this week. And I was really glad that the Christopher Walken ninja, who actually has a name, Yokaze, actually made his appearance this week. And he got to help a little bit, but for the most part, they were there basically to take out those other two Edo Tensei ninja, who they didn't really get to do anything cool like last week, because they essentially had this one Konoha ninja who had this ceiling technique where he would slam these giant rocks down on top of him, and then the ceiling thing would be around the rock and everything. It's a little excessive, but it is pretty cool. It makes you think, why didn't they just do this on Hayate? But you gotta remember, it's for the sake of story. I thought it was pretty interesting, too, that they decided to use music from the Three Tails arc in this one. It's a filler and a filler, so I guess it kind of makes sense. Like I said, Sakura was pretty cool this week. I really like when she confronted Ayate towards the end of the episode, and he's like, whoa, I remember you. You've grown into a really powerful ninja. And they have a little spat that's pretty cool. And frankly, it's better animated than the one that Yugao actually has with Ayate. And their fight ultimately results in them just having this battle where essentially they just do that thing where they slash at each other, jing, and Hayate just sort of falls over and then he gets sealed up, and that's pretty much the end of the episode. But there's still a lot of things I skipped over because there's things I want you guys to actually see for yourself, because there was a lot of really good emotional cue moments this week that made this episode pretty enjoyable to watch. Like I said, the animation was sort of spotty here and there, but overall I really enjoyed the story of it, and it was great to see Yugao again. And I don't know if they planned this back in the day, but it's pretty cool that they were able to bring this really obscure character back and such an important part in the story right now. And it doesn't really feel that out of place, which I think is what makes a filler successful. So with that in mind, not the perfect animation, but still pretty good. I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. Pretty decent episode in general. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next filler that's coming, because it looks really different. If you guys want to know what I mean, just check out the preview. It involves a zombie samurai. So guys, how did you feel about the final confrontation with Yugao and Hayate? You can let me know with your comments below. Remember guys, as always, if you like this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up. It really helps these videos out a lot. That concludes this review today. SuperKamiGuru9000, out.